All right, welcome in on a Thursday. Gorgeous afternoon. This is exciting. We've got a busy show planned, and I'm probably going to get attacked for the next 4 hours. It's going to be very, very exciting.
No. You don't get attacked. Not today. Team Mikey won. You won tonight.
There's no winning in this.
No, there was a winner. There was a clear-cut winner. Team Rico concedes. We wanted the proven project. You wanted the lottery ticket. Not only did they go lottery ticket, they went to find the youngest. They went straight to middle school and said, we want him.
Powerball.
Right. So, yes, you, my friend, Team Mikey won.
Well, let me explain this to the people. I want to sell you a pen. I want to see if I can bring you into
you
the family.
sold it.
No, I want to sell it to the people.
Trajan. Bubby.
Baby. So, here's what I want to sell you. All right? Understand this. I don't like what the Pistons did. I love it. And it's the theory behind it. Now, listen, if this is just going to be, well, Troy Weaver sucked. Rico, we're never going to get anywhere. I know he sucked. Everything about the guy sucks.
Water's wet.
Right. New president, new GM, new coach someday. Look, Fred Vinson is going to be a big part of my sales pitch to you. Fred Vinson, who Trajan Langdon hand-selected, brought him up from New Orleans, is one of the preeminent shot doctors in the league. Okay, all jokes aside, do the Pistons need help shooting the ball? Yes. So here's my whole point in this. I listened to Cookies this morning, and John, and Tecumseh, and I listened to Doug and Scott. And I understand the idea of, wait, we drafted a guy who can't shoot. None of our players can shoot. Poor Cade. Why? All right, here's the deal. Very simple. Not all of the pieces that were drafted by Troy Weaver are going to be here. So I think that's a bit of a straw man right off the rip. The idea that Trajan will just come here, keep everything status quo, and move forward, I think that's insulting to Trajan Langdon. 2, if it works out with one of your alleged answers, for instance, the morning show was flipping out about Cody Williams. You mean a guy who came off the bench for Colorado like he's some sure thing? Here's the reality. If you were like Rico and wanted an older established player, I heard people call the morning show about Klingon. I'm not mad about it. I understand it. The problem, I'm not interested in stacking don't shoot ball centers. If you wanted Dalton Connect, again, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think he's wrong. I don't think you're stupid. It's a different way of doing things. If you're right about Dalton Connect, you drafted Doug McDermott. If you're right about Ron Holland, you drafted Jaylen Brown. You drafted Kawhi Leonard. You drafted that type of freak show, wing, switch, athlete, defender guy.
Right, but if you're wrong...
You drafted a guy selling paint for a living.
You drafted Mo Bamba.
Right. But guess what? I want to say it again to the people. You have to look beyond what they took last night and ask yourself, is Trajan Langdon telling us something, Rico?
Yeah, because when I looked at the comparison... Somebody had Mikal Bridges. And I was like, okay.
Right.
If he turns into that, I'll be the first person that said, you know what? I was wrong and way to go. But, yeah, they went young. Mike, it's like you knew Trajan's playbook. You knew where they were going. It wasn't a pick that I would have gone for.
The whole premise in this, though, and I'll throw the number out. If you're upset about the pick, you want to shred it, question it, go ahead. But I'm not, because I love it. Because I'm telling you, and we've tried to foreshadow to you, I think it is the biggest straw man argument of all to act like, oh, we need to go out and get Cade a bunch of help right now. Who? Think about that for a second. Who? Trajan Langdon himself has said their goal with the cap space is they are going to take on contracts with assets attached to it. Mm-hmm. Guys, if Rico and I were coming to you from Miami and we had $70 million in cap space, we're talking about Paul George. We're talking about LeBron opting out. We're talking about just going to the open market and getting the best and brightest. That's not on the table for us here. So to go on the air and to scream like a banshee and go, well, we need to get Paul George isn't taking your money. Who is? Realistically, who is? Okay, the Warriors are happy to do business with you when they want to dump Andrew Wiggins' dead body on you. Oh, maybe a Tobias Harris will take your money. That doesn't move the needle.
No, it doesn't.
Trajan Langdon is telling you what this is.
Here's the only problem I have with it. The fact that Trajan came out and said he fielded calls to move down.
Yeah.
He didn't even work out Holland. He wasn't there. He fell in love with him that he felt I have to take him at 5 because he won't be there at any other spot. I disagree with that.
That's fine.
I think you could have taken him, and even if you got a first-round selection for the year 2028 and still gotten him, all right, you had a plan.
So here's the problem.
You fell so in love with this kid, now I'm not budging.
But how's it different than what the Lions did with Jahmyr Gibbs? None of us in the media believed Gibbs had any risk of being taken before 18 when they picked again, but boy, they did. And then the reports came out. Look, I can't prove you wrong. I'm not going to try. But it's just, look, the draft didn't make any sense because here's the other thing. Okay, well, they should have moved down. So should Charlotte. Look at the kid they took. Salwan or whatever his name is. Rico, maybe the offers just sucked. I'm willing to just, here's what I like about it. But it's risky, and it's Trajan Langdon putting his ass in the jackpot.
It is.
And it's not a tell-em client.
Yes. You know what? And at that point, we all win. We're all winners.
America wins.
I'll say this. If you felt that good about him, that's where it's like, seriously, you mean to tell me he wouldn't be there at 8? Like, he's this hot. And that's why I'm thinking, man, I'm going to play the percentages. I'm going to get an extra pick. If you're Trajan Langdon, you probably have a list of people who were available. And the way the draft was going, 4 of the 5 that you thought were going to be there were probably still there. That it made it seem like this kid was special. And then I look and I'm like, there's nothing really special about him.
Well, hold on.
Congratulations.
That's not fair.
Congratulations. You just added to the roster of the Motor City Cruise.
Yeah, but that's okay. Also not fair. Hold on.
Okay,
there's nothing special about him, really? Do you want to walk that one back a little?
Nothing special, whereas you're not special enough that you'll be playing or starting for the Pistons next season.
How many guys would in this draft? Be serious with me. Don't break my stones. We got till 6 to do.
No. It's probably a handful of people.
Tops.
But you chose somebody that
if you had the number 1 pick. If you had the number 1 pick and you drafted Alex Sarr, would he start? No. If you took Risache, would he? Rico, none of these cats are starting.
But at least on the team. I don't see him on the team.
And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Listen, here's
the
thing.
So that's what I mean when I say I don't see anything special. Not to say that he doesn't have talent.
Look,
I'm saying he'll have Cruz across his jersey and not Pistons.
And I don't care. Because ultimately, if he turns out right, it will be worth the sacrifice. Look, I'll say it again. Guys, Fred Vinson. Some of you guys are clamoring for Brandon Ingram. Do you know who fixed Brandon Ingram's shot? Fred Vinson. Do you know on average when Fred Vinson works with a player, on aggregate, they go up 4 to 6% in their three-point shooting success? Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but do you know what 4% would be for Cade Cunningham off of last season? 39%. I get it. I understand
it. Do you know how long it would take to get Holland to 39%? Probably looking at about 4 years.
All right, but you want to wrap his career. How many threes did he take in the G League last year? I'm not doing quiz show. I'm just trying to calm you down.
Yeah.
46. Do we really want to take an 18-year-old and 46 attempts and write the book?
Mike, but the thing is, you didn't have any scoring, and you brought in a guy who's not really a scorer.
Okay, I want to go slow with everybody.
I know he's not playing next year.
No.
It's the long game.
I don't care who you drafted. This team sucks.
Right.
It's not going to win regardless. It's a long rebuild. The whole idea, they bring Fred Vinson in, and I look at everybody not named Duran, whether it's Asur, Ivy, Ron Holland, Santa Claus, whoever. They're either going to improve or they won't be here.
I understand, Mike, but the team is bad. You don't go to the Goodwill store to buy diapers, okay? You need to go and actually get something that will help this team, and I just don't see it helping this team right now. And maybe that was my problem, that I thought that they were going to try to fix this so that the team would at least be competitive next year.
Okay,
and now I'll admit it.
That's
maybe
okay.
It's just me.
But I want to throw this out. Last year, what Rico was saying about Asur was spot on. Why? It was year 4. a GM who swore they were going for the playoffs and we had a big summer ahead with a ton of cap space, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had every right to say that about Asor. The only reason I'm changing where I'm at this year is that guy ain't here no more. I think Trajan Langdon is telling you, I have walked into the Titanic, and I didn't even get the dignity of sinking with it. I'm now at the bottom of the ocean with the fine china. There's no outs here.
Well, let me write that down. China. All right.
I'm going to draft that later today. So I want to hear from you guys. Because, look, I've lived this type of draft pick. When the Celtics took Jaylen Brown, number 3 overall, he was coming out of Cal. You know what they said about him? Horrific jump shot. Can't shoot. Shot 28% from 3. Horrible. I'm not telling you it's going to work, but I have to try. No. I actually really like what Langdon did because he flipped the bird and he said, this draft blows. What is the highest upside guy I can find?
And
him.
Yes. And we'll never know if he would have been available. But when I saw he fielded trade calls, I'm like, okay, you could have moved down a couple spots and you could have got him. Odds are he still would have been there.
I would agree with you if right away Charlotte moved down. Because remember, Charlotte and Detroit were the two everybody was calling, right? Charlotte sat there and took a guy that I'm pretty sure I didn't see mocked inside the top 15. The other French kid.
Yeah.
Is it Silwan?
Yeah. It's
Saloon?
Like, okay.
It'd be Kenny's favorite player for this name,
Talon?
Saloon.
Yeah. Tadanje or whatever. Yeah.
Naga, not going to work here anymore. 248-539-9797.
Yeah, I just think a lot of teams saw, wait a minute, we don't have to make the deals because the players that we want are starting to slide, so
that's the other thing.
Hang up the phone.
You're right. Klingon fell. Connect fell. A lot of these guys fell. It was, look, it's an awful draft.
Filipowski's still waiting.
Yeah, well. David, we will get your thoughts. Kenny doesn't have any, but it's just simple. Guys, what is your reaction to it? Are you able to look at it through a different lens? Are you upset? Do you want to vent? I'm not going to yell at anybody. I'm not. I totally get that I want to get better. But it's not like any other sport.
Right.
You can't just go out and sign free agents in the NBA. It's almost like you need a country club membership to play the course.
Right. And that's the next step for me for Trajan is what do you do next? What do you do with your signings? Can you bring in picks? So for this one, I look at it as a strike. You don't. But as we said all week coming up to this draft, there's no right or wrong answer here because you're so garbage. It's going to take time.
You're 14 and 68.
Right. And I had a way I wanted to do it. You had a way that you wanted. They chose your way.
Yeah, and my way might be stupid.
And congratulations. I'm giving you your flowers today, Mike.
We'll see if the young man is even here in the year 2025. 248-539-9797. Take some phone calls. Kenny, very upset about the Red Wings. We're going to get to that later. We do have a presidential debate draft we're going to do because all you can do is just watch tonight and watch the world burn from a good safe distance.
Or you can watch paint dry.
Rico's opting out. He's hit the TV portal.